Shem Malmquist is a pilot and a fellow of the Royal Aeronautical Society. He's also an instructor at the Florida Institute of Technology. Captain, the airline said that the plane encountered, quote, sudden extreme turbulence. To your knowledge, as someone who has flown this exact route, what kind of turbulence might this have been?
Well, it's really a process of elimination in this case. Turbulence generally only forms from three major areas, one being the effect off of mountain ranges, and there are none nearby. The other is associated with the jet stream, but that requires being at latitudes closer to the poles. And the other one is convective or thunderstorm turbulence. And so of those three, the thunderstorm turbulence seems to make the most sense. And that's assuming that it is turbulence, which we don't know at this time. There are a couple of other things that could happen where the aircraft can induce this, or the pilots can, but there's no indication of that at this time.
Right. I mean, given your expertise, we're speculating here, but according to the reports, the plane moved upwards before falling significantly. What do you think would cause that?
Well, when the aircraft is flying along, and have a model here where an aircraft flying along, if it runs into sudden updrafts where the air is moving upward very rapidly, then that's going to push the aircraft up, really increasing the lift over the wings, and the aircraft is going to move up very rapidly at that time. And of course, if this is a thunderstorm, like there's been some speculation, then with thunderstorms there's also downdraft, so the aircraft goes up and then goes down. And if you're a passenger that got moved up, your body is still moving up when the airplane is moving down, and if you're not strapped in, you go straight to the ceiling.
Wow. You know, I can't imagine what's going on in the cockpit following that scenario. What can you tell us about that? I mean, what you think would be going on?
Well, having encountered turbulence several times during my career, the primary thing the pilots are going to be doing is ensuring aircraft control. So putting their hands on their controls and trying to keep the aircraft pitch attitude, or up or down, as constant as possible. We're nominally flying about 3 degrees nose up in cruise at those altitudes. And so you really, without making any sudden movements, you try to keep it roughly along those lines. And of course, the other things that could be happening is you could be getting some warnings. The autopilot may disconnect depending on what's going on, and factors such as that. But the best thing the pilot can do is try to keep it as close as possible to the nominal cruise flight attitude.
You know, pilots are obviously good at forecasting turbulence for the most part to passengers, but what makes this sudden extreme turbulence, you know, hard to forecast or hard to predict?
Well, one of the things that we have seen is that in certain areas that are really characterized, such as the Bay of Bengal, where you have warm oceanic water, and at the same time, kind of tropical regions, and these can create a manifestation of a thunderstorm that is just a bit different than what most pilots are trained to do. Pilots and most of the textbooks come out of North America, and the model of the way thunderstorms essentially portray themselves over North America is different than other parts of the world. Unfortunately, airlines provide very minimal training for weather. You know, pilots get that earlier in their careers, and so they really have to rely somewhat on experience. But these are really newer phenomena.
I feel like, and it seems like there seems to be more turbulence-related injuries lately. Why are we seeing this rise?
Well, very simply, this is an outcome of climate change. As we get a warmer world, we're seeing more extremes in the weather. And these types of phenomena that were less frequent when things were a little bit cooler are becoming more common. And that's coupled, of course, with the increased frequency of flights.
You know, summer is high time for travel for a lot of people. I mean, I'm even thinking about the Olympics. People are traveling for that. What advice do you have for passengers?
Well, I'm certainly still traveling this summer, riding in the back with my family. I'm not concerned about it. The main thing that I think that as a passenger you can do is that seatbelt is your best control. Keep it buckled and tightened. That's really one of the best things that you can do to ensure that you do not get injured in this kind of event.
Sound advice. Shem Malmquist, thank you.
Oh, thank you.